Hello friends, so today we can discuss this problem from the Ad Coder Beginner Contest 167 Problem D Teleporter. The question statement states that the kingdom of Takahashi has n towns numbered from 1 to n and there is one teleporter in each town. Okay. The teleporter in the town sends you to the town AI. Takahashi the king loves the positive integer k. The selfish king wondered what town will he be in if he starts from town 1 and uses the teleporter k times from there. Help the king to write the program that answers the question. Okay. So as you can see, k is very large, so you cannot just iterate over every possible path. So if you don't understand the question well, you will understand it with this example. So initially you are at town 1, and when you are at the town 1, you can teleport to town 3, which is actually 4. So first you will teleport to town 3, from 1 you will go to 3. Now you are 3, so you can go to town 4, which is this. Now when you are at town 4, you can again go to town 1. Now you can again go to town 3 and again to the town 4 and so on. So as you can see, there is a loop here. So that's one trick you can find out, because if you know the loop size, which as you can see, if there's a loop of size 3, you can easily just mod this k, because of k is very large. If you know the loop size of size 3, what you will do is you can mod 3 with k, such that you don't have to iterate over the loop again and again. You just find out after the loops complete what's the modulus and where do we end up at. Okay, so how can you find out where the loop starts and whether the loops always start at the starting position? There can be case such that uh, I'm not drawing the actual thing, but like the king is at the first position, then he'll go to the, like for example, like the fourth city. Then from the fourth city, he can go to the third city, and then from the third city, he can go back to the fourth city, and then from fourth to third, third to fourth, and so on. So as you can see, now the loop doesn't start from the first position. It can even start from any other position. So as you can see, if you like make this actual graph or like actual values, the first will take you to the fourth. So from the first value is 4, then at the 4 you can go to 3. So at the fourth position you can go to 3. At the third position you can go to 4 and like make this actually equal to 2. So you start it with this position, you will go to 3. From first you can reach to 4. Okay, you will reach to this. Now from this you will reach to this, and from this you will again reach to this. And as you can see, this loop continues. So as you can see, the loop's size is only 2, but it doesn't actually always start from the first position. So our two objective is first to find out whether how does our loop start, where does our loop start, and what are the initial positions after which our loop starts. Okay, so you have to just find out the pattern. So what you can easily do is you can maintain a map and travel over. So if that's the map or the given input, first jump from the start. So if it takes you to the fourth position, go to the third position, 1 2 3 4, go to the fourth position, then mark at which index we are at, then go to the second position, and if we again find out that we go to the fourth position again, as we know that we have seen this after the first jump, so then we can store every index, and when we reach this index again, we know that we have completed the loop. So we are know our first value from the map and jth value because we are on it, and because before the ith value there is no loop. Our loop starts from I to j, and before I we have iterated over some values. So before I there is no loop. So now we can easily find out that before I there is no loop, and from I to j there is a loop. Okay, but there can be a case such that from 1 to go to 2, 2 to go to 3, 3 to go to 4, and like from this position we'll go like from the to the first position. So at most we can find out our loop after 4 jumps or 4 teleporting jumps. So if the size is equal to 4, we'll do at most 4 jumps, or like equal to n jumps, to find out our loop. So that's our logic. We'll first find out our starting positions and the loop, and then we'll see how to find out our value. Okay. So what we'll actually do is we'll first make a distance. We'll make a vector and make of size this. Then we'll also make a map to store the indices. Then what we'll do is input n, and also we required k, but because k is very large, we'll use long. Then we'll make a vector of size of a size n. Take the input this. Then what we'll do is, okay, but because our values are from 1, because 3 means that we jump to city 3, and we can actually make it minus 1 so that we can do it in our indices form, so that we can jump directly to the second index. So after taking it, we'll subtract a of I minus 1. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll take one variable x equal to 1 and map of 0 is equal to 0, which means actually this 0 means our starting city, and because we have made our starting city equal to 0, so what we'll actually do with this is we have actually created a distance map which stores what's our next position will be. Okay, so the first position is 0 because we always start with the the 0th city, or actually the first city, but we have write it 0, and then our x defined at what iteration we are on, because we have to move n iterations to find out a loop, at most n iterations. So x should be from the first index, so x is equal to 1, and we have initialized everything with 0, so we'll initialize our x equal to 1, and then we'll also make a map because we have put our 0 we have found it at the first index. So what's our main thing is, so let's assume from there is one city, so that from 1 we'll go to 1, only 1. So what you can see is we have again find out 1, which is actually 0, because like represented in the form of indices. So then you can easily see that if you can go from, you have again C0, so now our loop is from this 0th index, because we have stored it in the map, and our x value, which is actually iterating. So the main logic is, when we are iterating over this array, we'll see what is our x value and what is our map value, because between them our loop begin and end. Okay, so then we'll actually make a start which is equal to 0, and a low and high which stores uh, the boundary of our loop. Starts at low and ends at high. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll do in operations. Okay, then distance of x, so we'll store where will we go at the first index. We'll go at a of start. I hope you understand. So a of start represent that for the first value from the 0th index of this array is our distance our next actually destination. So our next destination for x equal to 1. So this actually stores our destination map. So the first value is 0, and then the second destination will be a of start. Now we'll check whether we have seen this or not again. So if map dot distance of x, so if this value is greater than 0, like we have actually seen this before, then our that it means that we have seen this loop, so our loop completed. So now the lower most value for our loop is the value which we have seen before, which is this, and our highmost is x, and we'll break out of this loop because we have completed our loop. Else, if we have not seen this, we'll put this in our map. So the map of distance of x is equal to x, and then what we'll do is we'll increment our x because now we have to move ahead, and start is equal to a of start because now we have teleported from first start to the next start. So we have done this. So after this we'll find our loop, and the non-loop condition starts from length L lowermost, because from 0 to L there is no loop, and then from L to high there is a loop. Okay, so if our key, which the position which we want to find out, is lower than high, then we'll just output k plus 1. Remember, because we have decreased everything by -1 in the start, in the end we'll add 1 to it. Else what we'll do is we'll first so our loop value is actually high minus low, which is actually the starting index of our loop, and the end index of the loop defines the length of our loop. So what we'll actually do is now, because our k is not in the start part and our k is very large, so we'll first subtract the L value from this, such that now we'll just move around the loop, and now we'll do k is equal to k mod loop value. You also code this out, and then you understand more why I have done this. And then distance is just L plus k, because L is the starting index of the loop and k is the modulus, because after doing every loop we'll end up at L, and if this k turns out to be 0, then because our loop terminates at L, we'll start from uh, L only, so our final answer will be at the distance L. But if after doing every loop we still have numbers left for k, we'll add them from L, and that's it. That will output this. Let's check this for one test case. The solution. Okay, L minus L. Okay, I think this is correct. It's problem. Okay, let's check. This is also correct. This also seems correct. We'll count distance of x for 0 because we start. Okay, this is also correct. Map of 0, x of 1. Okay, and n. Okay, I've taken k. 1. I think so now it will come out to be correct. Let's directly submit this. As you can see, is accepted. I hope you understand the logic. If you still have any doubts, please mention down in the comment box. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Keep coding.